You know what I haven't seen in 30 years? Lake Erie freezing solid. Well, folks, it's happening. And that's just the beginning of this wild weather week. We're talking wind chills hitting 35 below zero, then temperatures swinging 40 degrees above normal. Now, that's not a mistake. You heard that right. Stick with me here. What I'm about to show you will help you stay safe and prepared this weekend. Here's what's happening right now. On this Friday evening, snow is already coming down across the eastern states. Lake effect snow is firing off Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. If you're in West Virginia, you're seeing it right now. Snow squalls moving through the Appalachian Mountains. And here's the thing, folks, this is just getting started. By midnight tonight, those squalls push south into southwestern Pennsylvania and New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, western Massachusetts too. Now, it's not the biggest storm we've ever seen, but it's absolutely enough to make roads dangerous. So if you need to drive tonight, please take it slow. By 7 inches the morning Saturday, snow will be falling in Boston, Providence, Hartford, and Cape Cod. Could get heavy at times through the morning hours. Here's what really concerns me about this system. Visibility could drop under half a mile in spots. You might drive 5 miles and everything looks fine. Then 10 miles down the road, you can't see a thing. That's how unpredictable these snow bands can be. My neighbor Bob found that out the hard way last winter. Wind gusts are already exceeding 40 miles per hour across the Great Lakes region. By tomorrow morning around 7, we're talking 50 mile per hour. Gusts in the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Saturday afternoon is when winds really peak. Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Roanoke, and Virginia Beach. Listen to this. Gusts could hit 50 to 60 miles per hour at times. Before you go to bed tonight, make sure you secure anything loose outside. Lawn furniture, decorations, those trash cans will be halfway down the street. Now, what's coming? True Arctic air. I'm talking straight from the Arctic Circle, all the way down through Canada into our backyard. Temperatures are running about 35 degrees below normal for this time of year in early February. That tells you exactly how serious this cold really is. Wind chills are already below zero right now in northern Michigan and Wisconsin. Central Ontario sitting at 20 below zero as I record this. By 7 Saturday morning, dangerously cold wind chills of 30 below zero in parts of Pennsylvania and New York. That is life-threatening cold, and I mean that. This isn't the time to be a tough guy, folks. Stick around. At the 5-minute mark, I'll tell you exactly what you need to do to stay safe in this cold. Let me break down what's coming to your city, region by region, starting with the Northeast. The entire highway corridor from Washington, D.C., all the way up to Boston, is getting hit hard. We're talking tens of millions of people affected this weekend. New York City looking at 2 to 4 inches of snow, wind chills dropping to 20 below zero, high of only 22 degrees, and low crashing down to 10. All 5 boroughs affected: Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, Staten Island, Manhattan. Nobody escapes this one. Boston, even worse with 3 to 5 inches expected. Wind chills plunging to 25 below zero. High of 25 and a brutal low of just 5 degrees. That's frostbite territory in under 10 minutes outside. Philadelphia and Baltimore getting lighter snow, but the cold is brutal. Highs stuck in the low 20s all weekend long. No relief in sight. Washington, D.C. staying dry, but frigid at 25 degrees. The cold is the real story there, not the snow. Upstate New York getting absolutely buried. Under lake effect snow, Buffalo 4 to 6 inches. Rochester and Syracuse 3 to 5 inches. Albany 1 to 3 inches. All of them dealing with sub-zero wind chills and lows, dropping down to -1 or 2. Brutal conditions up there. Burlington, Vermont getting hammered with 4 to 6 inches. of snow and a low of -5 degrees. Portland, Maine, looking at 3 to 5 inches as well. Hartford and Providence, both expecting 2 to 4 inches. The entire region is locked in this deep freeze, straight through the weekend. Now here's what you need to know. This is the most critical information I can give you. With wind chills of -20 to -35 degrees, frostbite can develop on exposed skin in under 15 minutes. That means your face, your hands, any skin that's showing. If you have to go outside, cover up completely. Scarf over your face, good gloves, warm hat, and please, check on your neighbors this weekend, especially anyone who's elderly or living alone. A quick phone call could literally save someone's life in this cold. Your pets need to be inside, period. If it's too cold for you to stand outside 10 minutes, it's way too cold for them. They depend on us. Let your faucets drip overnight to prevent pipes from bursting. Just a slow drip is all you need. My sister learned that lesson the expensive way years ago. Now let's shift to the Midwest. Here's where it gets interesting. Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, all staying dry, but dangerously cold this weekend. Chicago's high only 15 degrees, with a low crashing to -5. Wind chills in Chicago could hit 25 to 30 below zero. That's no joke at all, folks. This is serious business. Minneapolis and St. Paul, even worse than that. High of only 10 degrees and low of -10. Wind chills approaching 30 below zero up there. Here's some perspective for you. That's actually colder than the average surface temperature on Mars. You heard that right. Colder than Mars itself. Cleveland getting snow squalls, dropping 2 to 3 inches. Cincinnati possible light snow. Columbus staying dry but cold, stuck in the low 20s all weekend long. Des Moines and Omaha, absolutely frigid right now. Highs barely reaching the teens, with lows of -5 to -8. But Des Moines, hold on tight. What's about to happen to your temperatures next week is going to blow your mind. I'll get to that in just a minute. The Dakotas and northern Minnesota are the coldest spots in the entire country right now. Fargo high of only 5 degrees. Bismarck high of just 2 degrees. Duluth high of 8. Lows crashing to -15 to -18 inches, those areas. Dangerous conditions, folks. If you're planning on driving the interstate this weekend, please reconsider your plans. Conditions are going to be absolutely treacherous out there. Moving to the Appalachians now. This is where snow totals start getting impressive, especially in higher elevations. Pittsburgh looking at about 2 inches with wind chills, hitting 15 below by Saturday. Charleston, West Virginia, expecting about an inch. But those higher elevations, where winter storm warnings are posted, we're talking 6 to 7 inches, possible up in the mountains. Richmond and Norfolk dealing with light snow and flurries, highs in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. Louisville and Lexington, cold and dry with flurries, stuck in the low 20s all weekend as well. Now here's some good news for our friends down south. You're catching a bit of a break from all this Arctic madness. Atlanta, Charlotte, and Raleigh, all in the 30s with flurries. Cold for sure, but way more manageable than up north. Nashville and Memphis frigid, in the upper 20s to low 30s. Memphis might see some light snow, mixing in with the cold. Dallas and Houston, chilly with highs in the 40s. Nothing too crazy down there. Light rain possible in Dallas. Florida completely escaped this one, as usual. Miami sitting pretty at 70. Orlando 68. Tampa 65. You folks are just fine down there. Lucky you. The West Coast is a completely different world right now. Seattle and Portland getting 2 to 4 inches of rain. Great news for the Pacific. Northwest, they desperately needed that moisture for water supply. California just vibing out there. San Francisco 60. Los Angeles 65. San Diego 62. Phoenix 68. Vegas 55. Denver relatively mild at 45. Huge contrast from what's happening across the east. Now, this is where things get absolutely crazy, folks. Starting Monday, February 9th, the entire weather pattern across the middle of the country is going to completely flip. That stubborn high-pressure system that's been parked out west all winter long is finally getting booted east. Think of it like a dam breaking, and warm air floods in behind it. Temperature swings in Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota could be around 40 degrees above normal by Monday. Let me say that again. 40 degrees above normal. Record highs are forecast for Des Moines, Omaha, Lincoln, and the entire corridor across Nebraska. We're talking middle and upper 60s, 70s further south in Oklahoma City and Dallas-Fort Worth area, 80s in southern Texas and Arizona. So we're going from 30 below zero wind chills to temperatures in the 60s and 70s in less than a week. That's a 90-degree swing in how it feels outside. Absolutely wild, folks. But here's the catch. There's always a catch. You know that by now. That warmth is going to hit a wall before it reaches the East Coast, at least at first. Monday, the Northeast is still dealing with cold temperatures and wind chills below zero, while Omaha is basking in the 60s. Same country, 1,500 miles apart, completely different seasons at the exact same time. By Wednesday and Thursday, that warmth finally starts, bleeding east, bringing relief to the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Let me wrap this up with 3 things you need to remember. Number 1, tonight's snow and dangerous 3-0 below wind chills, spreading across the Northeast and Appalachians through weekend. Number 2, that massive pattern flip, bringing 60s and 70s to the plains while the East stays frozen through early week. Number 3, storm signals for next week with more snow and cold patterns extending into late February and March. Winter's not done with us yet, folks, not by a long shot. Tomorrow, I'll dive deeper into that potential storm system coming mid-next week. Could be a big one for the East. Until then, stay warm out there. Check on your neighbors. Keep your pets inside. And remember, warmer days are coming. We just need to get through this weekend first. Stay safe, everyone. See you tomorrow.